Hello, hello, hello. What's up, guys? Yeah, so let's do an audio check and then we'll get into everything that's going on. So, yep, audio check, audio check. And yep, I had a little bit of an issue with my Focusrite um, studio last week when I was recording a video. So, and I haven't done a live stream or anything since then. So let me know if it works and then we'll get started. Everything looks good on my end. But yeah. And yeah, so as you can see, it's live stream Q&A 102. Man, I wonder how many I would have had by now if I didn't keep skipping. But we're going to be talking about, we're going to do our normal Q&A today, and then we will talk about the upcoming Veterans Tank giveaway, talk about kind of what's going on with that, and hopefully everything works out. Quick audio check, just make sure anybody's saying anything. And then you guys can start adding your questions as we go. As you guys know, at the live stream, if we run out of questions, then I end the stream just because I don't want to sit here and put my my foot in my mouth, just randomly making stuff up as I go. Oh, cat's messing up over here. And what's up, Travis? Long time no see. Hope you're doing good. Howdy. Congrats on the deer. Thanks. Appreciate that. Okay, the notification came through. Good. So you guys can hear me? Yes? Hopefully. It's looking like it's working. I don't know. Just let me know. Let me type it in here. Can you hear me now? Okay, good. Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, so I know I didn't have this live stream scheduled. It was a last minute thing. I know I was going to start doing Sundays, which I'm going to do, but yeah, so we're working on the schedule. It's been a pretty rough couple weeks, and life is life. So you guys can start adding your questions. It can be about anything, reef related, non-reef related. I don't really care. You can start adding that stuff if you want. I'm going to talk about the upcoming Veterans Tank giveaway. So what's going on is next week or this week technically, I'm going down to Washington, D.C. to help a fellow reefer break down his setup. Just getting out of the hobby. I haven't got any details on why. It really doesn't matter. We all have things going on in our lives. And I'm going to go down and help break the system, which is a 210-gallon, I believe it's Custom Aquariums tank and stand with a custom geo sump. And I'm going to go down there and break the setup and set up down and take as much of it with me as I can back to my place. Now, I will be leaving the tank and stand at his house because I don't have any room here. I mean, printers are just taking up a ton of room. So I don't have the ability to bring it back here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be giving away, and I'm going to make a video on this, but just to sum it up, I'm going to be giving away that Custom Aquariums tank and stand with the geo sump and top off. There'll be a Vectra pump in there. Maybe there'll be some lighting. I don't really know. I don't know all that he has or what it is going to be, but you will be able to get at least a tank, a stand, a sump, and a return pump, guaranteed. And I mean, this is high quality stuff. This is. I mean, it's beautiful. If I had the room, I would keep it myself. It's a beautiful setup, trust me. And so what's going to happen is, again, I'm going to make a separate video. And it's going to be for veterans. You guys know that I do the veterans giveaway. We had the issues with COVID, so I couldn't. Man, did I say that? Yeah, the big C. So I wasn't able to do one during 2020. The last one we did was during 2019, and then we're just kind of getting back to everything. So, yeah. So so if you want this tank, you have to be able to pick it up. So it is in just outside Washington, D.C. So I'm going to put it up for about a month where you guys can apply for it. It's pretty simple. If you're a veteran, you just have to submit proof of service, and then you'll be automatically added to the drawing. I'll do that for about 30 days, and then we'll come in here and do a live stream with the Wheel of Death, and we'll just put all the names in there and let it pick live who wins, and then I will contact you, and then I'll just meet you at this person's house, and you can bring a truck and a few friends, and we'll load up the tank stand. I'll bring the sump back with me and the return pump, and you can walk away with about a $10,000 to $15,000 setup. It's gorgeous. So it's just a mini version of my 300, essentially, color theme, everything. It's like a mini version of the 300. It's gorgeous. It really is. So that's the plan. Hopefully you guys can participate in that. I know that, I mean, it's up for anybody who's willing to make the trip. Any veteran of any war, it doesn't matter. If you can make the trip to Washington, D.C. or outside Washington, D.C. to pick this thing up, you can apply and it's all yours if you win. Simple as that. If you live in California and you want to make the trip to Washington, D.C., if you win, I mean, granted, I mean, what you would pay on gas opposed to buying a new tank and stand, you're still saving several thousands and thousands of dollars if you even made that trip. So just food for thought. And again, I'll make a separate video and hopefully we'll get it to a good home. So I'm pretty excited about that. Um, yeah, yeah, really excited about that. And then down the road, we'll do some more veterans tanks. I'm actually looking to. I really want to do a custom one. If you guys remember the 125 where it was all like custom, I drilled the tank, I made the custom sump, I did everything. I really want to make a setup and personalize it and then give it away. I don't know. I haven't done that stuff in a while, and I would really like to get into it. So that's about it for that. If you have any questions, you can feel free to email me. And again, I'll do a separate video with pictures and all that stuff after this weekend when I pick up whatever I could fit in my truck and the fish, the coral, all that kind of stuff. So I'll do a separate video. Anyways, that was 6 minutes of that. Yeah, let's go ahead and do some questions here. What's up, Travis? Long time no see, man. Hope you're doing great. I'm doing pretty good, George. I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well as well. Does that make sense? Hope you're doing well as well. That sounds wrong. I don't know. I didn't do really well in school. Salty Farms, what's up? Howdy, congrats on the deer. Thanks. Unfortunately I couldn't post any pictures last time. I posted some pictures of deer last year. I literally lost like 1,000 followers on Instagram. I'm like, man. But it was pretty funny. I brought it home and I took it off the truck and I dragged it on the parking lot down the hill to where I do all my work down out back. And I heard a bunch of noises and people talking. I'm like, what's going on? And it was just a group of females, like probably between the ages of 20 and 35. And they're like, what's all this blood? And they followed the trail down. They're like, oh my God, we thought it was a person. I'm like, really? And it's just a bald guy in shorts and t-shirts skinning a deer up in the back of a townhome development. No, nothing crazy. Either way, it's not on the lease. So, and I've been doing it for like 6 years. It's not on the lease, but I'm sure it will be at some point. But yeah, so next year I do plan on I'll be taking 3 doe home for me from that Dallas hunt next year. What's up, Brian? I thought I talked to you. Didn't I send you an email today, Brian? The name looks super familiar. And by the way, guys, I took 2 days off this week. I took off Friday. I took off Saturday and Sunday this week, which I usually don't take any time off, but I had my hunt. It was a long weekend. I got really far behind on orders and emails and stuff, and it was a disaster. So I'm working on it. So if you haven't heard from me, just hold tight. Right now, the current queue is 115 on 3D printing. For anybody who wants to know, so we have 115 orders waiting to be printed. That's not including the 22 that are currently printing, and the turnaround time right now is 2 to 4 weeks. And I try to be honest with you guys about that stuff. It is what it is. If you have a much bigger item that needs to be printed, I only have two large printers, and it just takes time for that stuff. So also I started selling the CO2 attachments on eBay. I just started putting them up. So I can ship at least the CO2 attachments anywhere in the world. The shipping price will be calculated based on where you live. Now I still have about 60 to add to eBay. So if you're interested in buying one of the attachments and yours is not on eBay under Fish of Hex, I will add it and you can do that. But they will only be available in black and single barb, and that's it. Like, that's it for now, because I need to be able to print them and get them out really quickly because eBay has a problem with the turnaround times. So just a heads up. You can hit me up with that. What's up, Mindy? George. All right. Are the cheap Asian lights that you purchase for your tank worth it? I looked for it over my tank, and it would be roughly $600 rather than paying $1,500 to $200. Brian, are you talking about the Hyper Reef 150s, or are you talking about the 125 where I had Mars Aquas and SB Reef lights? I'm assuming you're talking about the new ones, right? I'm going to look in the other chat, so just let me know, and I'll answer that question as we go. What's up, Missy? I got your message. I haven't been able to reply to you. Sorry. Facebook notifications are super weird for me. I get them and then I don't get them. So I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But Brian, let me know about that and I'll answer the question. What's your take on floating scape? I think I'm going to try it. I think it's really cool if you can do it safely. I would recommend doing it and using sand just in case for whatever reason it decides to unfloat itself and you have some sand to break its fall. I would not do a floating scape in a bare bottom unless it's guaranteed. I don't know if that's even the way to say it, but if it's guaranteed not to not to actually fall. The newer tank, I'm sorry. No, it's cool, Brian. Okay, so the Hyper Reefs, which I'm going to do a update video for you guys on the Hyper Reefs. I have about 45 acros underneath those right now. Coloration's good. The growth seems to be fine. I'm still dialing in the tank in general, so growth isn't the greatest, but there's no STN, no RTN. The coloration looks good. I have no issues with even some of the higher end acros, like the Walt Disneys and stuff. They look pretty good. And again, I don't remember exactly what the par is. You can look on that par video, but I think it was like 350, 400 or something there. Either way, everything's doing really well in there. I have no issues at all. I do notice that one of the fans was clicking a little bit, but then it went away. So maybe it was just a piece of dust got stuck in there or something. But yes, the shout out to you, if you would do me a favor. Listening. Oh, yep. 1 second, I'll get right there. So yeah, it works good. I would say if you want to invest in the Hyper Reefs, go ahead. You can use my link. Just I don't know if there's any kind of discount associated with it, but it would at least let them know that I sent you. Let me see. Manny's Reef says, do me a favor, listening with my kids. Shout out Gio and Alexis, please, if you would. Hey, what's up, Gio? What's up, Alexis? Welcome to the show. Appreciate you guys being here. Yeah, so back to the floating scape. Do it if you can do it and be safe about it. And I would use sand just in case, especially if your first one. Okay. Outside of that, and if you can use Pukani or something that's lighter, that would be good. I don't know how available Pukani is at the moment. I know the Reef Saver is a little heavy. Again, water helps with that. But if you're going to do a floating for your first one, use sand and use probably 3 inches or so, because that will cushion if it doesn't want to float anymore. You know what I mean? But other than that, I think they're really cool. I like the idea and the concept of a floating scape. That's kind of what I did on the 300, where I did the pillars and then the arms out to help when it grew out, it looked like it was floating and bigger. I think it's a good concept. And when you do it, send me some pictures. I don't know. I think you follow me on Instagram. I don't remember. I know you do on Facebook, but feel free to share those when you get it set up. Would you? Well, sorry. You still got a video on dosing NO3 and elk swings that go with it. I want to say yes, Heath. I want to say I do have that video. I guess you could look up maybe Fish of Hex NO3 possibly, or Fish of Hex dosing. I'm trying to think the keywords that might make that pop up. I don't remember exactly every video I have. I think I'm like 960 or something at the moment. So I probably made multiple videos of that. But yeah, I mean, what's your question, Heath? What do you got? You got a question specifically regarding NO3 and the elk swings? Because I know I mentioned before about, when you dose nitrates and phosphates, or specifically nitrates, you can either pause the growth or increase it when you're dosing, or if you dose too much, because the corals need to adjust, the zooxanthellae need to adjust to the new nutrient levels, which then when they're doing that, they're not necessarily, you're not necessarily growing as much as you should, or vice versa. So, but yeah, if you got a specific question on that, Heath, I will, we'll do it. Okay, so here's the other one. Am I still doing? Yeah, I am gonna. If I don't have something talking about it right now, then that you can't find, then I will make one if you want. I can add that to my list of things that I can make for you. Yes, you can hear me. What's up, Mindy? What's up, man? Love the CO2 scrubber recirculating attachment. Yeah, man, I've been getting some pretty awesome feedback about those. Like some really good feedback. So if you guys have ordered one of these from me and you have your model on their website and you don't have a review, I appreciate reviews. I know that it helps drive some of the sales, but yeah, I'm getting some really good feedback on it. And now that I'm added the collection container and the wall mount, that's definitely a big thing too. Because a lot of people were like, hey, I stopped using my CO2 scrubber because it was pulling in moisture from the microbubbles. Even if it is set to pull air from the top of the lid, you could still, if there's too many microbubbles, you're still going to pull in some of those. But now with the collection container, it's eliminated all of those issues. No one's getting any water or moisture to the media, which is really good. It helps it last longer. So yeah, I'm pretty thankful, and I feel pretty blessed to be able to make that and support the community. It's a good feeling, so I like it. Any tips on a stalled cycle? I dosed 2.0 ammonia and dose Turbo Start 900. It's been cycling for a month, but there is still a faint amount of ammonia and nitrates, or nitrites, and it's not going completely to zero. Okay. Well, with anything, it takes a little bit of time, and I know that's not a reasonable answer. But if you're dosing your ammonia, then just keep doing it, or maybe change up the source. Maybe go ahead and go when you go to the grocery store, Keith, just go ahead and grab one of those raw shrimp, put it in a bag like a mesh bag or something, and just throw it in the tank and don't even dose anymore. Just let the bacteria that's in there break that stuff down and let it just do its thing. Give it a couple more weeks, see where you're at. I know that. I mean, of course, there's a balancing act, so it's obviously still going through the cycle if you're getting that spike of ammonia, or if you're still showing the ammonia. You didn't say the amount. Let's see here. No, you didn't say the amount that you're reading. But again, you don't. Your cycle's not complete if you're seeing ammonia or nitrites on your test. It's only when you see nitrates and phosphates. So I would say maybe just change it up, get rid of the ammonia, and just throw some shrimp in there or something, something like that, and just let it do its natural thing and give it a little bit more time. Depending on the water volume, the type of rock you had, all that stuff, it takes time for that beneficial bacteria to build up. But kudos to you for doing the right thing by dosing the ammonia and giving it some time. And I wouldn't add any more beneficial bacteria because when you're adding that beneficial stuff, I mean, they all got to compete for resources. So, I mean, you might be just wasting your money if you're just still dosing the turbo start. So I would skip that, throw some piece of shrimp in there, and just let it do its thing. But yeah, kudos to you for doing it the right way and not using fish. It's a good thing. Goes feed. There you go. Yep, you can do that. There you go, David. Thanks for that. Hey, what's up? You may have, and I have not checked my emails today. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple Brian's I emailed today. How do I say this in a way? I know I've talked about this before. Like, I tried, and I'm not going to go off on it. Everybody knows, most people know that I'm a one-man show, right? Like, and I'm a single dad. I got 4 kids. Like, I mean, I run the business, jiu-jitsu, all that stuff, and then I run everything like this, right? And I'm just saying, like, there's a fine amount of time during the day, and of course there's a time that I have to stop because I have to make sure the boys have everything they need, and we're good from there. But if I don't get back to you right away, please don't take it personal. I have never ignored anybody, and if I did, I didn't do it on purpose, because there is times when people lose, they you lose track of emails and things get overwhelming, or you lose stuff, or you accidentally delete something. It happens. So if I forgot you, or you I haven't gotten a reply in a few days, don't take it personal, and definitely don't blow up my email saying just some dumb shit because I am a mirror. Whatever you give me, you're going to give back. And I know that's not the greatest for customer service, but that's how I roll. So if you come at me like an asshole, I'm going to be an asshole to you, and I'm not going to help you out. But if you're nice and calm, I'll bend over backwards. I mean, I've had $300 core orders die in transit. My DOA policy does not cover transit issues. Like, if UPS says, screw you, I'm not going to deliver it for 4 days, I'm not supposed to cover that. But there's been several times I've been like, hey, don't worry, man. I'll just send you another one. Help me out with the shipping. I'll send you another $300. So I'll take the $300 hit. But if you come at me like a jerk, well, I'm going to tell you to pound sand, and you're going to go about your day. So just food for thought. Because I had that come up a couple times today, and I was like, man, Lord help me. So come to Colorado. I'll take you elk hunting. Sounds good. That sounds real good. I love elk. And not so much the whole, like, trying to hump them off the mountain, like, ruck them off the mountain, but the whole process of the hunt, it sounds pretty exciting. And then they taste really good as well. So maybe I'll Colorado. How far is that? Can I walk there? I don't know. Where the hell's Colorado? What's up, Wiggles? Cat's here. Anyways, yeah. Maybe we'll work something out. Appreciate it, though. Hello, trying to start a coral aquaculture business. Have any advice? I say start small and see if you like it. There's a lot of people who start the process who don't like it. Don't go out and spend $20,000, $30,000 on equipment and lights. Listen, get something cheap, get a tub, hook it up, put some coral in there, see if you like it. And the biggest thing when it comes to selling coral is you need to get out there. People need to know about you. You guys think I just make YouTube videos because I love putting my big fat face on front of the camera? Absolutely not. No. You gotta get exposure. No one's gonna know about your coral. No one's gonna know about you. What works for me is that you guys got to see, like, the 300 here when it was in its, when it was happy several years ago before Big Bertha ate it. You guys could see the coral. You can see where it comes from. You can see the whole process. That sells itself. So I would say if you're going to start a business, start small and then put yourself out there, prove your success. And don't be don't be a chop shop if you can. Sometimes you got to start that way, but just go slow, sell locally, get your name out there. Pest control is a big thing. Just try to do right by people. If something comes up in your tank, say you get flatworms or you get like a nudibranch or something, don't sell that coral. There's been businesses that I've known are like, hey, whatever, I'm just going to sell it anyways because I got to get rid of it. No, you're setting people up for failure. So if you got an issue, take care of the issue and then continue to sell. So, your good intentions will sell the coral for you. And then putting yourself out there and showing that you can grow it. So that's about all I can do for advice. And best of luck to you on that. Thoughts on white spectrum lighting versus the red and blue spectrum lighting? Do you like one over the other? Well, okay, so the red and green spectrum, okay, are kind of tied together. So if you look at the AB plus spectrum, which I can actually kind of pull up my Apex here, maybe I can show you guys. Let me pull up my Apex, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Maybe, baby. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, so this is my. Can I zoom in? I probably can't zoom in. Anyway, so this is my lighting schedule for my Radions over the 300. Okay, so this is my AB plus spectrum right here. Now, red and green are pretty much on the same level. They're kind of red and green in most instances will promote algae growth. Now the red and green is good for us to be able to see the corals better. The corals do utilize a little bit of it, but not a lot. Coral zooxanthellae primarily benefit from the blue spectrum. As you can see here, we have the royal blues. I think it's just I don't know what B stands for. I know what RB stands for, but so we got blues, royal blues, and UV. Those are all going to be the spectrums, and ultra in violet. Those are all going to be the spectrums that you're going to get the most growth out of with your coral, your SPS corals, or just zooxanthellae in general. And then we have the whites and cool whites. Now this is more for us. This is, you can base your whites off of whatever looks good to you because your corals are not going to utilize that so much to grow. So I know Jason Fox talked about it before. I think they did a video of his house. A lot, and he runs mostly blues from what I'm aware of. Is a lot of pretty much all blues, is because once you dive down into the ocean, the water is going to filter out. It's going to filter out these red and greens. It's going to filter out the cool whites and the whites, and you're going to be left with the UV, the violets, the blues, okay? And that's what the coral and the zooxanthellae are going to use as they grow. So back to your question, thoughts on white full spectrum lights versus the red and blue spectrum lights. You need to find one where you're getting the blues, and then you can adjust the reds and the greens and the whites lower based on what looks good for you. But you need to make sure you're getting the blues, the royal blues, the UVs, and the violets, because that's where you're gonna you're gonna get your coral growth. You're gonna get the most growth out of. So hopefully that makes sense, Clifford. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. I tried. But so hopefully that makes sense for you. If you have any more questions, you can feel free to email me. I'll do a video on it if you want. I can't give you a timeline on the video, but I will make one at one point. What's your alkalinity, phosphates, and nitrate levels? Okay, so I haven't. When was last? Okay, I'm testing alk once a week right now because I don't have the Trident. So my alk has been at 8.0 for the last 3 months. I'm pretty happy with that. 8.5 is pretty comfortable for me. Ideally, I feel like I get the best growth when I'm at about 9.5 DKH, but I'm happy at 8. If it's steady, that's what I'm looking for. As long as I'm not getting swings or fluctuations, I could care less if it's sitting at 9 or 8, as long as it's stable. When it comes to phosphates and nitrates, I'm trying to think the last time I tested it. I think it's like 2 weeks ago, something I tested. The ideal range that I would like to stay in for phosphates is going to be that 0.07 to 0.15. 0.1 is pretty common for me. I had an issue with cyano in my overflows a couple of weeks ago because I've been feeding a lot of more of my green based food that I make here for them. It's got a lot of like collard greens in it and stuff that are just really high in phosphates. So I overfed a little bit for a few days and got my phosphates up, and I got a little bit of cyano in the overflow. But either way, I ideally 0.07 to 0.15 for that. And then my nitrates are at about 4 3 to 5 ppm is pretty comfortable for me when it comes to SPS. I've gotten away with like 6 or 7, 8 ppm, and I've been just fine. So, just kind of keep an eye on it. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. We took care of Brian on that one. Let's scroll down. Hey, when are you gonna ship? When you gonna a shipment on CO2 scrubber? I don't know what you mean by that. When am I gonna ship your stuff? What's your order number, bro? What's your order number? I'll look it up and I'll tell you if it's it's in there. Like I mentioned before, we have 115 3D printed orders in queue, 22 on the printer. And yeah, man, it's like 2 to 4 weeks turnaround time. If you have a larger CO2 scrubber or you got a really large item that needs to be printed, I only got two printers that are capable of doing those bigger stuff. So they take a little bit longer. So yeah, what's your order number? I'll look it up for you. Hey, no problem, Mule. Let's see here. Do me a favor, listen. We did that. Cool. Gio and Alexis got you on that one. No problem, Brian. How far am I behind on chat here? I got 8:11. Man, I'm that far behind already. I gotta shorten my answers. Damn. I try not to get too far. I remember when I first starting doing these, I was like 45 minutes behind. Yikes. That's not fun. Ordered a pack of cords a few months back. All look good. Question: you sent me some sort of LPS that has super thin almost said testicles. Man, tentacles. What is it? So if I sent you an SPS with that is going to be the Galaxia. I've been sending some of that out because I have a ton of it, and I've never had anybody say they didn't like it. Let me look. Whoops. Let me get here. Let me go back to my. Man, I'm just clicking all sorts of stuff. Yeah. Let me double check. LPS. It is. Yeah, it's going to be the Galaxia. I've been sending her quite a bit of that stuff out because this guy right here. Is this what it looks like? This Joker. I have a ton of it, and yeah, it's pretty cool. I put it on a rock by itself. It's super easy to frag. I know that back in 6 years ago, I bought. So these Jokers have like little polyps. So like there's like 5 little polyps right here. I bought 2 polyps for $25 at a local fish store like 6 years ago, and I've grown it out to be basketball size multiple times. So it's paid for itself. But it's a great coral. It's not friendly when it comes to like SPS. It will sting the shit out of them. So just make sure you're not dropping that off anywhere. I usually isolate it on a rock, let it grow, and then I frag it up and just make a bunch of money on it because it grows really, really quickly. Hopefully that's it. If it's not, let me know. Send me a picture. I'll tell you what it is. FYI, I just put the skimmer lid in the mail for you. Octo 150 Elite. Cool, man. Cool. Yeah, let me check. Do I have your order here? Let's see. Jimmy. Okay, it's here somewhere. It might be downstairs. Did you put an order in? Is it one of those custom CO2 attachments? I have like 8 right here that I gotta do. So yeah, look forward to it. I'll take care of it once it gets here. I have some SPS growing a little off balance, like one side is growing more than the other. Should I trim the side that's taller to keep the uniform or let it do its thing? Man, just let it do its thing. I like watching corals just, because your flow and your lighting will determine how the coral grows. So that's why I have the XR15s and not the XR30s on the 300, because then I can slide them on the railing there for the 8 T5 system. So I'm able to move them around to help change some of the growth of the acros, because I had some ATL blue clover like on this video here, like it was growing out towards the light, and then I slid it over and it finally moved its way back in, which was really nice. It got it away for the bird's nest. So also your flow will determine the growth of it. Yeah, I mean, if you want to trim it, you can, but I like nature doing its own thing. Yeah, send me some pictures of the floating reef. I appreciate it. And you can send it through the email if you want. Instagram is fine too. I don't know if we're friends on there, but or if you're following, I don't know. But sometimes I don't get messages through Instagram. It just depends. Sometimes it goes into like waiting or whatever they have. So email is probably your best bet. All right. The Galaxia grows crazy fast. Yeah, it does. It really does. Question: if you have an airline already run outside your house, would the tee into your skimmer along with the CO2 scrubber? If so, would you tee the outside air or let the skimmer media. I would do one or the other. Either do outside or do the recirculating, because even if it's outside and it's fresh air, there's still CO2. I mean, there's still people breathing. I mean, it's not going to be to the concentration of inside, but I feel like you're not taking you're not getting the most out of your media or your potential pH increase if you're teeing outside and using the media. I would say do one or the other. I get higher pH when I do the recirculating. I just do. The media with the recirculating on the skimmer there, it lasts a lot longer than as if it was just exposed to the house. And when you're teeing outside, you have to worry about bugs and spraying and all that sorts of stuff. You don't have to worry about that. And then again, I get higher pH with the CO2 scrubber. So it's your call, but I would not do both. I set up a greenhouse to use natural sunlight. What are your thoughts on natural sunlight for coral? I think that's great. I think you're going to have an amazing electric bill. If I could use natural sunlight, you betcha I would 100%, because I mean, you're getting everything you need right there. I think that's a fantastic idea, and I'm super jealous. So yeah, I think that's great. Get yourself some DC pumps, man. You're going to have a great electric bill. That's, man, pretty jealous about that. Kind of a little butthurt over here, but if you got it, do it. I can't really use natural sunlight in Pennsylvania, so we ain't got enough of it. You're welcome, bud. Cool. I'm catching up on the questions. Awesome. You think it's possible for my elk to go down from 9.2 to 8.3 in one day? My tank isn't super stocked. My usual elk dose per day is around elk dose or loss per day is around 1 or 0.1. I usually don't get swings like that. I don't think it's necessarily a deal breaker. I think you're going to be fine if your tank is, if you're used to it and you're still getting good growth. But what I would do is if I would find a way to minimize that. So I don't know what your method of dosing alkalinity and calcium. You can feel free to. I'll look in the other chat if you want to drop that information in as we go here. Whatever your method is, I would find a way to make it more consistent. Because like I mentioned back in the day when I was dosing 2-part on the 125. I could have dosed all my daily 2-part in just 3 or 4 sessions, but no, I decided to spread it out 24 times. And if you guys remember, I was doing 260 milliliters a day of 2-part. Man, back in the day when you had to do water changes at 1.024 because you wanted your tank back at 1.026 because of all the salt that was being dosed in from the 2-part. Man, I don't miss those days. I'll look at your order here in a second, bro. I'm just going to get up here. If it's 7407, that seems like it might be getting close. Let me pull it up here. Yeah, so if you're I would say whatever your method is, if you can make it a little bit more stable. So if it's a calcium reactor, consider increasing the flow a little bit, or just to kind of try to keep it more stable. If you're doing 2-part, which I think if it was a calcium reactor, you probably wouldn't be getting that dip that much. I mean, I think 2-part might be the reason why you're doing it. Let me see here. What is the number on that order? 7407. See what we got here. I'll tell you where it's at. Okay. Yep. Yeah. Your stuff is good. I should have sent you an email saying it was going to ship out. Yours is done. I know you have an ATL blue cover. That's going to go out tomorrow. Yep. That's going. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Did you get the email? Because I have an automatic email system that tells you that your coral is going to ship. So yes, it's being printed. Yeah. Your stuff is done. It's going out tomorrow. Done. I'm waiting for it to go through. All right. No, just emailed you about it. Okay, yeah, just send it through. I'm pretty sure, Manning, I told you to add the email to it, so I don't, so I know that it's that it's you. Wish you had shipping to Canada. Hey, listen, I just mentioned this before. You can buy the CO2 attachments off eBay now. If you go to eBay under Fish of Hex and you don't see yours, I'm still adding. I got like 60 more. I'm shipping just the CO2 attachments anywhere in the world now, anywhere. So you can buy those off eBay. If yours is not there, just send me an email real quick, like, hey, man, or message me on the website. Say, hey, I don't see my attachment on eBay. I will add it real quick, and then you can order it. It's only going to be in black, and your shipping price will be based off of where you live. So I don't determine the cost. I'm actually sending it out to Global Shipping Network, and they're going to do all the paperwork, and then they're going to ship it to you. It cost me a little bit of money, but I needed to make some kind of sacrifice to get you guys the attachment. So let me know. If you don't see it, hit me up. I'll add yours real quick, and you can order it online. Yeah. So, yep. Hopefully that helps. The CO2 recycling ring for my skimmer I got from you is working like a charm. Awesome, appreciate it. If you haven't left a review on fish on the website or on Facebook about that, your specific model, I appreciate it if you did. All the support I can get, I appreciate it. Or spread the word. I mean, I mean we're all known for things. I mean, I used to be known to be an asshole. I don't know if that's going away or not. But now I'm being known as the CO2 scrubber printer 3D printer guy. So I guess that's a better alternative. So it's all over the forum. So I'm like, okay, well, you know, the occasional guy thinks I'm an asshole still. Listen, I'm pretty nice. Best method of testing salinity. Just ordered a Cybon Ray fractometer from America because they aren't available in Australia. Okay, so I use the Milwaukee salinity tester, but any refractometer is going to be fine for you. Make sure you zero it. I'm pretty sure you got to use RODI water to do that, distilled water. So make sure you, I would say every month, make sure you're, whatever, zeroing it or whatever you're doing with that. Just make sure it's calibrated. Ain't no problem on that one. Just got my first frac tank, currently setting it up. Looking forward to this new journey. Yeah, it's exciting. I That's with everything in life, as you do it and do it and do it, the excitement goes away. But there, like every time I set up a new tank or I get a new frag tank or I'm changing the lighting or I'm doing something, I get that feeling back. It's really nice. So hey, enjoy the journey. It's good. It's already is. I already have the copyright on it already going in. So yeah, um, yeah, it's in the works. I just gotta wait for approval on it. But yeah, it is. It is. I mean, listen, one thing that one thing you have to realize is my whole job, I guess this is my job. So, um, my whole job here on YouTube and just in general in this community is for people to take my ideas. I mean, people come to the channel for advice and ideas on how to do things, and 3D printing too. I mean, I've come up with 360 different items over the last 2 years of 3D printing, and I've gotten countless people saying, "Hey, man, this guy's selling your stuff and that." And I've used ideas of other people, like nothing too crazy, like not a direct copy, but I mean, there's good ideas out there and people share that stuff. The big thing is you don't want to be undercutting people and stuff like that. And I'm sure there's people out there making the CO2 rings. I mean, I'm not one to go after people about stuff like that because I just, I don't know, man. I'm just not that kind of guy. Like, I mean, if you're gonna make it, you're gonna make it. But I mean, if you're making it and then trying to sell it as your idea, that's gonna piss me off. So I might be a jerk to you about that. But just give credit where credit's due. Um, and yeah, and I don't really have any plans of selling it to anybody. The idea or the patent on it. I just think it served a purpose and I'm helping people out and I'm not really looking to I'm not trying to get over on anybody, man. Because as with anything in this hobby, it's going to be here. People are going to do it. And then something else is going to come along, right? Something new and better, big and better is going to come along and we're going to progress. And someday no one's even going to think about it. And that's the truth. So I try not to get butt hurt or bent out of shape when people take my ideas because it happens. It just happens. So, but yeah, I'm waiting for the approval on that, and it will be done. Just because I had an issue, like I don't know, I don't want to get into it. No, just basically somebody was being a real jerk overseas about it, and I was just like, come on, man, you don't have to. You don't have to be that way. Like you just don't have to be that way. So, anyways, I have a net cleaner attached to my skimmer. Will the ring work with it? Yes, it will. It will elevate the skimmer by about 20 millimeters, which isn't very high. The cleaner will still work just fine. So yeah, you're fine. I get that question all the time. Tank is looking awesome, dude. Yeah, this is an old video of the tank back in its heyday, back when Big Bertha was in there, and I had a lot of fish that didn't get eaten yet. Speaking of fish, I just lost one of my big hippo tangs yesterday. Pretty bummed about it. She was having some swim bladder issues for about a month or two. So she was. Oh, this is the thing. She was always going up to the surface and grabbing bubbles and bringing them to the bottom of the tank, which was cute. But I don't know if that messed with her swim bladder because then she was like floating really weird. So maybe she just got bubbles in her gut. She was whatever she was doing. But anyway, so she was like hiding herself underneath the rocks to keep herself from floating to the surface of the tank. And then eventually she just passed away. I found her in my Nero 5, sucked up into it. Well, bent over it. She wasn't sucked in, but so yeah, I lost one of my 4 hippos yesterday. So, But yeah, that's unfortunate. Hey, no problem. I hope you sell that idea to BRS for millions. Yeah, I mean, they want it. I mean, they can ask me if they're interested. I wouldn't like. I've been tempted in the past to reach out to BRS and work through them because there's a lot of 3D printers that work with BRS. The problem is that I I couldn't make them what they need. Like I don't have the ability. I don't have enough printers to keep up with their demand. I mean, like I said, I'm 115 orders in queue right now, not counting the 22 that are printing, and that's not counting Coral. That's not counting supplements. That's not counting Jado. That's not counting. That's just 3D printing. And if I was to take on something like BRS stuff, which sounds amazing, I would love to do it. How the heck am I going to get them what they need? Like, how am I going to print that stuff out? Now that I'm bringing the rest of the world in, even though I'm just doing the CO2 attachments in black, even though I'm bringing in, I mean, allowing the rest of the world to purchase those now through eBay, that's that's going to be a big responsibility as well. So I just don't think I have the resources to expand any more than I am. That's why I haven't been adding a ton of new stuff to the website, just because I I feel bad making people wait. I don't like people waiting 5 weeks to get their stuff. I mean, that's a crappy feeling, but I don't know. Need more TikTok reefers. Those lives are so fun. I have never been on TikTok. Um, I heard it's the loony bin. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm thinking about starting an OnlyFans though. I need that extra income. Ugh, I could use it. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I'm debating. Just messing. I don't know. Seriously though, I am kind of debating about it. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, just left you a 5-star review with Scrubber Ring. Appreciate it, man. I appreciate that a lot. Appreciate it. Did you happen to get a skimmer lid today, Fishfax? Dan, let me check. I got a bunch of stuff in here. I don't know if this is yours. Nope, this is not yours. This is John's. It's probably in the parcel box. I'll check. I'll check in the morning. But if it's supposed to be delivered today, then it's in the box. Then I'll check. The cage you printed for me a few years ago is still working awesome for my Neros. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, those Nero cages, they're still being sold. I know that Nero is now selling a cage or a guard with their pumps, which is I think that's a good idea for them. I mean, they made me man, I sold. I don't, man, I sold so many of those dang things. But right now, the MP40 NEM guards that I have and the what are they? The surface guards for the MP series are doing really well. Especially the surface guard, because a lot of us like to put our pumps to the top of the tank and be able to get that surface agitation without sucking in all the air. Because when you have the pump going, it pulls that stream of water or air in. This prevents that from happening. And then I have a version that's also a NEM guard. So I'm just pretty happy that that's working out. But I'm still selling quite a few of those Nero 5s. Not nearly as what they used to be, but I'd say maybe like 10 or 15 a week. So they're still pretty popular. Let me see here. You're only making CO2 attachments in black now. I'm only making them in black for outside the United States. So if you're outside the United States and you want to order one of them, you have to go to eBay. If it's not on eBay, you have to email me because I have 60 more to put on there. I'm going to work on them tonight or start adding them tonight. I've been trying to butcher deer all day too. So, so the reason why I'm doing outside the country black only is because, there's a lead time. Like I have to have it printed and shipped within 7 days. I know that seems like a long time, but it's very difficult. So if you're ordering outside of the United States, I mean, your order is going to take a little bit more of a priority just because eBay doesn't play games with, hey, you didn't ship it on time. So I got to follow the rules or I get strikes and stuff on my account. So, but yeah, so I'm definitely going to, I'm going to see how it goes. And I'm a little hesitant about shipping outside the United States, but this eBay offers a global networking company or something. So basically, I ship it to them and they do all the custom forms specifically for your country, and then they send it over to you. I think they take 2.5% of the sale plus 30 cents. That's why the CO2 scrubbers are like $2 more on eBay, is because I got to cover my overhead for that. It's not like I'm trying to get more money. So, and then the shipping is automatically calculated for you. So I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, black only. And yours is better. I love it. Hey, appreciate it. Appreciate the support on that. Skimmer line, outside, or CO2 reactor. What's your preferred method? I use the CO2 reactor because I get higher pH and it's recirculating. And I'm a gear junkie. I like having the container and the CO2 canister or the reactor and then the tubing stuff. I don't know. It just fills a need. Like I have on my computer here, I have liquid cooling and all the the fancy fans and the crazy lighting and all this stuff. I like the look of that, and I get a little bit of that when I have it connected to my reef tank. Plus, again, I'm getting higher pH with it. The media is not that expensive. So outside, they do spray around my townhome development. So I didn't want to pull in any of that stuff, even though I did have a carbon filter that I sell. I put the carbon in it with some filter floss, and I can pull air in without pulling in, hopefully not pulling in any asbestos, or not asbestos, but whatever they do to kill the weeds. But yeah, so preferred method is the reactor for sure. Hey man, I wrote in the Discord about a Z7 skimmer attachment. Speaking of that, I haven't been on Discord in a long time. I'm sorry. I haven't been on there in forever. I apologize. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, your best bet is to hit me up if you want to get a hold of me, website. Like that's your best bet. Would emailing you be better? No, website. Definitely need a new one made, but different design would help a lot. Okay. Yeah, hit me up on the on the website, and then just tell me what you're looking for design wise. What do you want the barb moved differently? Yeah, because I know that was a pain in the butt skimmer to make. That was a really pain to make that skimmer attachment for that Z7. But yeah, just tell me what you want to do. We'll work out a price and I'll get it done for you. I'll make it work. All right. So if you guys have any more questions, we're at the end. Finally, at the end, we're at 50 minutes, 46 minutes in. We're at the end of the chat. If you guys have anything else, you can feel free to add it in the comment section. If not, I can ramble for a minute here and then I'm going to head out. I got some stuff I got to get done. What's your timeline ship corals to California? Coral shipments go out on Monday through Wednesday. I've stopped shipping corals on Thursdays because there's been some delays and I don't know why. I since COVID stuff, man, I said COVID three times in the stream. That's not good. There's been some really ridiculous delays. And I don't know why, but so I ship Monday through Wednesday on coral. So, I mean, if you order, what's today? Monday. I mean, if you order tonight, I mean, I'll ship it between tomorrow and Wednesday. I have like 7 or 8 other orders going out. I'll add it to the list. Yeah. So, I mean, I can get it out this week. If you order late Tuesday, I might not be able to get it out on Wednesday. I might have to wait until Monday. So it just depends. And then I'm looking at temperatures as well. Because if it gets, the issue with this time of year is when I'm shipping coral, like I'll put heat packs in to get it through Pennsylvania and mid country where like it's cold, it gets really cold. And then when it gets out to California, you guys got like 95 degrees out there. So I don't like, I feel crappy putting a heat pack in, but I got to get it through. So, it's a balancing act. And sometimes the California drivers like to let it sit on the truck, but that's with everybody. So, yeah, Monday through Wednesday. What you do already answer that. You click down here. We'll do awesome. Thanks. Keep the videos coming, bro. No problem. Appreciate you. What's up, Travis? What's up, Mike? How you liking the budget lighting? It's working pretty good. I'm going to have a video out soon on that. I have a bunch of acros underneath there. Polyp extension is good. No STN, no RTN. Growth seems to be okay. I mean, growth in the tank is a little slow overall because I'm kind of dialing in some stuff. But overall, I have no issues. I haven't noticed any difference between those lights and Kessels or Radions. It's still pretty soon, right? It's early in the process. It's only been a couple months or a month or so. So it's kind of difficult to really do a long term. In a perfect world, I would set up identical tanks with 3 sets of lighting on the same water column and put in frags of the same size and let those jokers just grow for like 6 months. And then we would honestly know at that point what was the better lighting because, again, the same water column, same coral size, same everything. But we don't live in that perfect world because I ain't got that kind of money. Good to know. Have you par tested? Yeah, I have a video on that, Mike. My series for that budget lighting. There's a par video on that. It's pretty good. It's pretty decent. I have it in the low boys, but it's pretty decent. So other than that, I think we're good. I think we're at 50 minutes. I try not to go too long. I appreciate everybody being here. If you like the stream, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, You can give it a thumbs down. I don't care. I don't think they're even showing thumbs downs anymore, right? Because everybody's too sensitive. I don't care. But yeah, so I appreciate it. If you guys want to support the channel, head over to fishfx.com, buy 3, get 1 free on 3D printing. Yes, there is a little bit of a line. Please understand that I'm working through them as fast as I can. Any questions or custom orders, email me or hit me up on the website, and I will do my best to help you out. Okay. Yeah, Mike, no problem, bro. I hope you're doing well. I guess I'll see you next stream, man. All right, guys. Thanks. Peace.